want to just kind of talk about that and you know, why aren't men reporting it, and how, what can they do? Is it the same for the, as you mentioned, everything for the women, for the men? Do they stay in the same facility? Is there a separate facility for the men, or how does all that work? Let's talk about the men who are being victims, who are victims of domestic violence as well.
Yes. One thing, when we don't talk about it a lot, when we think of domestic violence, our thoughts automatically go to women.
Yes. Right.
But men are subject to domestic violence as well. I mentioned the statistic earlier. Reported, just in cases reported in previous years, 1 in 7 men are subjected to domestic violence in their lifetime. I think some of the issue with men reporting can be the same as women. It's a little bit of a pride thing. It's a little bit of a shame thing.
Right.
Because we're made to think that it's our fault, we caused it, you know, and we're ashamed. And that's not how it should be. Also, another what I think is a hindrance for men is they don't understand that they are in a domestic violence relationship, right?
Right.
My wife got mad at me last night and she threw the mayonnaise bottle at my head, right? And they kind of play it off.
Right.
And they don't realize until it gets to be something extreme where wife pulls a gun on them or whatever the case may be. And we have had men come to us in that situation like, my wife pulled a gun and threatened to shoot me, like I know, and I knew she meant it, right? Because he didn't see the warning signs that led up to that point, right? Because he just wasn't thinking. Because men just have a tendency to think, well, it's not abuse, right? It's not abuse.
Right.
Whereas we as women, I think we are more educated on, you know, abuse as it happens to women, and whereas men may not be.
That's correct.
But we do provide services for men as well. We do not house them with the women. They are housed separately, but we do provide the same services for men who are subjected to domestic violence as women. We just house them in a separate location. We don't house them together, simply because a lot of our victims who are in shelter, especially women victims, they are what we call men shy, right?
Okay.
That can be a trigger for them while they're in the healing process.
Oh, wow.
So we house separately in that